if we do a proper validation in our coding, then we can remove, I would say, 90% of bugs which will come in our application. So we might feel like why we are doing validation, why we are wasting our time, but it is not wasting your time. What it is doing, if you do a proper validation, cover all the cases, you will find your application will have 90% less bug than what it could have been. Okay, if you did not do a validation. And it is related to every technology. I mean, whether you are in front end, whether you are a Java developer, .NET developer, or Node.js developer, irrespective of any languages. Okay, uh, validation is a must thing, and the proper validation. I mean, it's not that you are just doing a validation and that's it. I mean, without thinking all the scenarios, like what could be the possible thing which I have to validate. I mean, unless you cover all the proper scenario, then your validation will not be optimum. Okay, so try to cover each and every scenario, try to give as much validation as you can. And lastly, like what I have done, try to take everything from one common place. I mean, try to break your application in smaller pieces. I know for the starting time it will take a whole lot of time to start this thing. You have to work very hard at a start of a time. I mean your 1 week will gone in doing this kind of thing. I mean, in creating the structure, in creating the models, in creating the functions, in creating the constant. And some point of a time you might be thinking, hey, what I am doing. But for the longer run, I mean, if you can develop this thing perfectly, then uh, if anybody will ask you to create any API, then within half of the day you can create it, which other developer will take more than 2 days. Within half of the day, even in 1 hour, you can provide an API to them. 1 or 2 hours, okay. And generally, if you don't do a proper structuring, generally if you don't do a proper validations and everything, uh, then whenever you will develop any API, it will have a bug. And to solve those bugs, it will take whole lot of time from you. Okay. And one important thing, like as a developer, we cannot be online every time. Okay, we cannot communicate with some person every time, because we might be working in India time, and the user or the client might be using it in American time, or in other times, in Australian time zone, or in other time zone, where the point or the place from where you are working, he or she might not be available. So for that, we have a very famous modules that is called loggers. Okay, so every application, like validation, every application should have a logger, proper logger mechanism. Okay, and if you can develop that thing, then uh, you will find a very less issue in your application. And even if you find any issue in your application, you can resolve it without talking to those person. Okay, and there might be a case like some error are happening which you don't know, like okay, I mean my application is a buggy, and at some point of time it is giving some error to our application. But since we are not uh, checking our consoles, okay, our application consoles where it is working every time, so we could not able to find those things. But if you can develop your application and give a proper logging mechanism which captures all the errors. So if you find any errors, you can check those logs, and you can easily fix your logs. Okay. So first thing what I will do, I like MongoDB configurations. I will create one configuration where I will uh, configure my loggers. Okay. Yeah. So I will create a logger config file. where I will configure my logger. Okay. So for logging logs, what I am using this module, Vincent. It's a very easy and very popular modules, because you can see within a week, this much of people have downloaded this module. So with the number you can see how much popular this is. Okay. So to install it,
Cannot
yeah.
see your screen, sir.
Oh, sorry, extremely sorry. I started the recording, but I haven't started my screen sharing. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Now I think you can see the screen. Okay. So what I did, since it's a configuration thing, mean I may change this thing in futures, or I want to have this on a single place, then I can use it from the multiple place. So what I did, I created one file. Okay. Inside our configuration, and name is that logger configs. Okay. And then to use this logger, I am using this module npm Vincent. Okay. And you can see it popularity. I mean, in 1 week, this much people have downloaded it. Okay. So to install Vincent, what you have to do, you have to run this command npm install Vincent. Okay. So next week, I we will not have this class. Okay. I will take one break for 1 week, and then from uh, on 29th we will continue. Okay. So with this command, we have install Vincent, and if you want to check, then we can check our package.json, like 3.10 version of Vincent has been installed in our machine. Okay. Now the next thing what I can do, uh, see, we can save the logs on two places. Either we can save it in any file, or we can save it on DB. Okay. And the third thing we might do, if we are running in AWS server, then if we save it, it will automatically save. Okay. Into their logger file, and then through Splunk we can see it. Okay. Uh, Let me go to my repo. Not this. Then I have to create it. I forgot my repository where I have created it. Let me check. Else we will add all the configuration one by one. Okay.
So why we are
Mhm.
saying this Next.js?
Uh, yeah, repeat, sir.
Why we are saying this Next.js?
Oh, no. This is one of my projects. Okay. I mean, I would say which I have used to learn, or doing different thing that is not related to you all. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, okay. So what I did, and second thing, what I will do, I will require this Vincent MongoDB also. Okay. Okay. Now all this thing you will easily find here. Okay, you will get everything here one by one, right? Or to write any logs, what we have to do, we have to use this function Vincent.create logger, and inside it we have to pass the parameters. Okay, the parameters will be this labels mean the type of a log which want to save. See, there are seven types. If you see this document, so there are seven types of logs that we save. One, error, warning, info, HTTP, verbose, debug, silly. Okay. Like if you have any error, then we save in this error labels. If you want to pass any warning, then in warning labels we can save. For info, it's info. Okay. So there are a total of seven labels that we can save. So first we have to give the label. Then this format mean what kind of format we want to save. So here I have told like Vincent use the format JSON. Okay. So what it will do, it will save the format in JSON, in JSON format in our file wherever I will tell them to save. Okay. This transport, what it will do, it will take the logger from our application and save it on some places. Okay. Now you can see what they have mentioned. They have mentioned the two places. One, they are saying, okay, Vincent, transport whatever thing you will get into this file. Which file? The file name is this. Okay, error.logs. So if I passed any logger with the label error, okay, so what it will do? It will save that message or that JSON detail into this file. And similarly we can add the multiple label mean and separate those based on the files. Okay, based on everything. Similarly, the second thing what they have did, like for common, for rest of the thing, we can do like this. Okay, so if you see the code, what I did, I just copied the same thing from there, right? And inside files I separate everything. Like for warning, what I am telling them, hey, if I passed warning, then save it into this page. If I pass label error, then save it into this page. Okay. And then on third, what I told them, like for every mean transport everything in MongoDB. Okay. So all the things, whether it's a info, labels, or error, I will save everything in MongoDB into this collections. Okay. Last, for info, I have created this file, this transport. Like if I pass info logger, then please save in this location. Okay. The location would be under this logger folders. Okay. And then here what I did, I mentioned some of the formats, like it should be a JSON. We have to give some timestamp. Pretty print mean whenever we are saving something and it's a JSON, then make it pretty. Pretty mean to expand it, to expand and save in this way. Okay, to expand and save in this way, not in a single line. That's why we have given this pretty format. Okay. And to save the metadata also. So this is our configurations. Okay. Anybody have any question regarding understanding this thing? Why I have done this thing?
Sir, this
Yes,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yes. One
sir,
by one,
like
you can
uh,
start.
this you have like this method, this file you have created logger.config.js or logger.config.js. This you have created for finding errors during coding.
Yeah. I mean, if we find any error, what I will do, I will save the error here. Okay. I
Okay.
actually every application should have a logger. Every application, irrespective of technology, whether it's a Java, .NET or Node.js, every application should have something like this configure. Okay,
Okay.
because we cannot be always online, right? Some
Hmm.
person might say, "Hey, I am getting this error. मेरा ये error आ रहा है. कहाँ से आ रहा है? I don't know." Right? But if you can configure this thing properly, then what it will happen, all the steps, all the things will be saved at some kind of logger files. Okay, and if somebody say like, hey, I am getting this error, I have hit it at 10 a.m., but my data did not save. What happened? I don't know. I am trying again and again, it is not getting saved. And that person is on American person, and he is on American time. So you cannot go to office at 10 p.m., right, and tell him, hey brother, please hit it, because for other person it is working fine. So if we develop this kind of features, what will happen, if any error occurs, we can have the details like why those error has been occurring. Okay, so for that we create this kind of loggers. Fine.
Okay.
Okay, so you might have, I mean, from seniors you might have heard like, hey, check the loggers, logger check karo. Okay, because they
Hmm.
have implemented this thing, and if you did not implement this thing, then what would happen, you would have to wait for those person to come online. You have to be online on that time and tell them. You have to sit I mean, in front of the your consoles, all right. And there might be a case like different person would have a different access, like only the DevOps team have the console access, so you have to talk with the DevOps teams also. So lots of what to say, meetings you have to attend in order to resolve those errors. But you have this in your application. You don't have to, you don't need to talk to anybody, right? You don't have to communicate with anybody. You can directly check this file, and through this you could get a knowledge like what is happening there.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, one thing that in here we can actually use only Winston, but you have used Winston MongoDB. MongoDB means we are saving our errors or what our logs to the database. Okay,
Yeah,
not only in.
yeah, I can remove this thing. I'm just I mean telling you, yeah, we can save it in database also, because
What it
see,
means that transport.mongodb db.process.env dbconfig collection tutorial logs means.
okay, okay. So this DB mean our database, right? And
Hmm.
this I have already explained you on multiple places, like in MongoDB config also. We are reading the DB URLs from this, right?
Hmm.
So from here also we are actually it should be DB config. So this is a way to read data from process, right? From .env file,
Hmm.
right? So I can
Yes.
read it from here only, from here, right? If we can, so this URL which we got from MongoDB Atlas, we have saved here. So to read that URL, so it will save on the same database. Okay,
Okay. And collection means.
collection means the table name. Actually, in MongoDB, it's called as a collection, not table. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Uh, Let me include this also. This will allow me. to read dot net. Okay. And the code is fairly simple. You just have to copy this thing and bang, done, right? Nothing special thing I have done. Whatever thing I have got from uh, this, I have just use it. Okay, use it properly. So if you go down, it has multiple single step. So if you go down, you can find the database access also. Okay. Uh, yeah. See, it support multiple DB also. Couch DB. Okay, couch, radish on those places also we can save. But let it be. Now let us see how we can utilize this thing. Okay, so how you will utilize this thing? First of all, how you can how you will utilize your config. So you to utilize this thing, wherever we have to use this logger, you have to include our loggers, right? Suppose I will add some logs in this place. Okay, I want to see whether my application is running or not. So what I will do, I will include our loggers here. Let me open the database also. Uh, okay, and then I can logger dot info. Okay, and the message, or what I will do, I will simply copy this thing. Okay, so what it will do, uh, if you see the configurations, what it will do, I call the info methods, mean the this methods, right? So what it will do, it will add whatever thing I have write into this file. Right now we don't have any file. We don't need to worry. If we run our application, if we just simply start our application, what Winston will do, it will create those files here, right? It automatically create
Yeah,
the three files which I have mentioned, and inside info you can see these things got added. Okay, it's saved in JSON format. Secondly, whatever message I have provided, it wrote here example app listening on port number 8001. It tell, okay, it's an info, and it give the timestamp, like at this time we have saved this data into our database, right? So
yes.
it's save only on info log, not on any other log. Similarly, when we go to our database, If go to our database, we have mentioned a tutorial logs. Okay, so if we go there, check our collection, we can see we have some data here. Okay, you can see the same log has been added here, right? So if anyone want to see those log, mean the errors, then he can create an API, right? You know how to create these APIs, right? In order to fetch those data, you can create one API. So through those API, they can check whether our application have any error or not, or right. So what we generally do, okay, let us create the error also. Okay. Okay, let me just check. So directly what I will do, I will write logger dot warning. Okay, warning mean WARN, right? Okay. Now when I ran this thing, okay, I think it will save on all three places, right? Let us check. See, in error it have saved, in info. The I mean whenever I am restarting my server, right? See, the times are getting changed, correct? And those info are getting saved. So warning I have saved. I have done 2 times. I mean, so those warning are getting saved here. So how difficult it is to implement logger in your application?
Sir,
Anybody have it? Yeah.
as you said, we need to create an API for this.
No, no, no. We have to. I mean, I will explain you everything. It's just a beginning. Okay. And we will see a multiple scenario, right? But for now, we have integrated logger in our application. So how difficult it was to integrate logger in our application? Then I will tell you how to use it. Okay. I mean, did anybody have any thoughts, like how they can integrate loggers in their application, or how I have done this thing? Do anybody have any questions regarding this? Like why we are doing what thing?
Sir, if we have any error at any line of code, it will catch
Mhm.
that error.
We have to catch it, okay, and then throw this thing. We have to catch those error, and then we have to uh, pass those errors again. Let me show. Okay, let me clean this thing. Let me remove this thing from here, because what I told you, like we will not do anything here, right? We will do where we will do the codings. So inside our routes, we haven't done anything specific, right? We haven't implemented this thing. When we implement, we have to write logger here also. But let's go to our controller where we have done some code. Okay, here I will include our logger file. Let me see whether it's file or not. Is declared but never been used. Okay. Mhm. It should be double dot. We have this logger. Now, ideally, what I do, or what we do in our application, we created a process ID. Okay. Process ID mean you can do it if you get from the server, or simply get a random number. Okay, how to get a random number in JavaScript? Get
math.random.
yeah, math dot floor and then math dot random. That will give us some number. So I have created this. Okay, and name this as PID. If you can get it from some place, then well and good. Else you can do it like this. Okay, create some PID. Now what I will do here, I will I will use this PID on different places. Okay, so that if any process have any errors, or it has been successful or not, we can able to identify this. So what are the thing which we are doing here? We are uh, we are first what we can do, we can add one logger info and tell add user API started. Okay, PID, yes, process ID is this. Okay, and okay, I provided a information to my logs, like whenever we will come to this controller, or whenever we hit the add user API, uh, log this thing, right?
Hmm.
Now,
Yes, sir.
after this, we are calling the validation function, right? So this validation function can can have two scenario. Validation can be successful. Validation can be an unsuccessful one, right?
Hmm.
And I have read all the data here also. Okay. So next step, what I will do, I will check
Uh,
add
Firdous,
user API.
before PID, that one we have to add a dollar symbol, I guess.
Yeah, sorry. Let me copy it from here. I am very bad of this thing. Okay,
Any letter we are
sorry.
using, no? So we have to add.
Yeah, I understood. I generally use plus. Okay, okay, yeah. And then I will tell, like, the next process what happened, validation. Okay, complete, and it return true or false. Okay. Then the next step, we will tell, okay, uh, make something constant for different process. Okay, so that uh, you can relate this thing. Okay, it's happening for the ad user. Okay, either use their function name, that would be better. Whatever functions name you are using, that would be better, or the routes name. Okay, so that it will give some consistency. And if you want to see this thing, by seeing this name, you understand, okay, it's for this thing, right? Now here I can say validation successful. and here I can say, here I can say validation unsuccessful. Okay, and instead of info, I can give warning. It's not an error, but it's kind of warning. Anybody have any question in this? Like what are the things I have done? I think these are the way you should do, whether you are doing Java coding, .NET coding, or Node.js coding. These are the way you should implement your coding. You will not have any problems. Okay, whether you are working in any company, and I have worked in IBM and TCS, and by God grace, I have. I mean, I mean the people who was having a 10 years 15 years experience used to come in my seat and say, hey Firdous, this is these are the things which I'm not getting, please help me. It's not that I am a very good coder, but it's because I follow the step. I mean, the step which are there, I strictly follow these things. And with this step, if you follow this step, uh, it will take very lesser time, because see, development is not, it will not take any time. Okay, development is the easiest thing, but to make your application bug free is the main thing which many developer lacks. Okay, if you can follow these steps, if you do in this way, you will never have a buggy application. And if application is not buggy, it will work seamlessly. So anybody have any question till here, like whatever thing
File
I have done?
in logger config. Can you open this logger config?
Okay, okay. See why I'm repeating this thing again and again, because I want you all to learn this thing, not to I mean, not just learn this thing, but to implement this thing, right? Okay, one thing I did not explain you, like this meta. If you go to database, you will get some more information. Okay, okay. Right now it's only saving the timestamp. So some more information I store in meta. That that is for database only. Yeah. Any question here?
Can you?
This
Yes, yes, Costa.
actually this logger.config is actually generating the log file, and whenever you're calling from
Yeah.
like the user controller once.
Hmm. Yeah. And what I'm doing, I'm just calling those info or warning or errors. Okay, based on the situations, like what situation I have to log those. Okay, so validation failure is not an error situation. It's a warning situation where we warn a user like, hey, you are not providing the correct data, right? Therefore I have to store those things, and this info is for our coding. We are giving information, like on what step we are, what are the thing we have done. So it depend upon you, how much warning how much information you do in your logger. But ideally for every step, there should be information. Every function, whenever you call any functions, whenever you get any data from the function, you should add information regarding that.
Sir, you said like we should follow these steps. Can you repeat these steps like what we did? Firstly, like first we did this, then this, like this.
Yeah, see, this configuration is a one time step, right? You have
Hmm.
configured this thing, gone. Now you don't have to worry. That's why we are using what to say, this structured way, where we will have everything, configuration thing on a one file, and then we can use those configuration on a different file. Okay, to use this, in whichever controller you are, you have to include this configuration files, right? We have the configuration file, and then there are 6 or 7 ways which we can use the logger. But for our application, we are using only the three levels, right? warning,
Error
errors, and
and this one info.
this info, right?
Okay.
These three labels. See, these are just a repeat thing, right? Same thing, new transport dot file, and this is the file name where I am saving the files. Okay, and then for MongoDB, just for your knowledge, I am saving this thing in a MongoDB also, so that you can know like how we can save in database. Okay, our logger, so we can save in multiple places. Secondly, we can configure our application in if if you will work on AWS or any other cloud server, then there are some tools also where we can integrate those things. Similar to this, we have to provide their credentials. Okay, now ideally for ideally we should get a process ID. I think process ID we can get in Node.js also. We can get the process ID for every process. But what I have done, I have created a 10-digit random number and treating it as a process ID, because for different process it would be different. Okay, and then what I did for every process, mean every step, I would say, or if you call any functions, then we have to give the logger. Like like here what I did, I tell, okay, my add user API started, right? Then the next step, what happened, it call a function. So what I wrote, validation complete, and it returned this data. Then if it's successful, I am saying validation successful. So with this logger, you can able to find out like what are the things happening, right? And since we are maintaining this PID, you can pass this PID whenever you call some other function. If it's called the secondary function, you can pass this PID into that, so that you can always have a chain of this information. Because if you see the logs, uh, see, it has only those two three things, right? And if you add a PID, suppose if it's a one, this will be a one, this will be two. So you can relate this thing. Okay, these two things are related to same process. Okay, one has an info, another has a warning, right?
Hmm. Yes.
Or and then you see, uh, warning with two, mean the second process might got the errors. Okay, so with this thing you can able to understand. I will show you those things. Okay, and what I did, I send the data also, whatever send the data have been sent by the user. So I can see this thing, and then I can help them, like, hey, you are not sending this data, or this is the problem, or I can understand my code problem, like why this thing has been saved like this. Okay, so
Yes, yes.
let me do it. So for now, what I did, I just give logger for my validation. If it's successful, it add the validation successful message. If it's fail, I wrote validation unsuccessful. Okay, and then if I hit this, let me. Okay, and many of you might know like how to create a workspace. So see, if you come here, create one workspace here. Okay. Uh, Anybody know how to create a workspace here? Okay, it's a API. It should be collection. Okay, collection. This. Okay, it's our collection. Node.js tutorial. Okay, this is our collection name. What I will do, I will create one request. Not this. Okay, this request. Name it as add user. Okay, so that I can have this thing always with us. Okay, and type is a JSON. Okay, let it be. Let me. Okay, what I did, I just send first name. Okay, so ideally, as per our code, the validation should fail. Let me delete everything. Okay. Uh, Let me go to okay. This much of data got saved. Okay, let it be. There are 7 data. Okay, let us see what will happen if I hit this API. Ideally, what should happen here? If I hit this API, what will happen? Anybody can answer this? What will happen if I hit this?
This API needs more parameters.
More
Okay, in
parameters,
body.
Validation,
right?
validation errors will come.
Yes, yes. So last day I have explained you, like I have created this function, and this inside this function I am sending the status and all those things. So this function, this validation function will, sorry, this validation function will return false inside our status, and it will fail, right? But now I have added some more features. So what will happen? See, it's first time cannot be blind. This validation are coming, and then I have add some loggers also. Okay, if you let me refresh this thing. Mhm. Where are the loggers? Okay, uh, model routes. Okay, this is. Let me restart this thing. Okay, I think I have deleted the files also, hence it is not getting saved there. Okay, so we have restarted it, and once we hit it, so in info you can see this. Okay, and then we can stingify this thing, this data. We can stingify this data. We can get to know like what is there. Okay, so now with this thing you can relate this thing, right? Like what happened and why this thing become unsuccessful. Are you getting any information while reading this thing?
Yeah, validation role failing like that it is saying.
Yes. So if anybody says, "Hey brother, I am hitting your API," if it's a front end guy or any other guy, he will say that, okay, I am hitting your API, but I'm not meeting successful. I'm getting this error without he somehow missed what data I have to send. I mean, he's doing mistake from his end. So as a developer, you will not check your code. You will check, okay, if it's a validation error, I mean, it should be a warning. So you can directly go to your warning logs, and you can see it's failing. Why it is failing? Because um, there are some validation unsuccessful. Okay, and without going into your code, if you see the information, I mean everything inside your information, you can get this result, like why it is failing, mean I will fix this thing, like here provided this data, and when we hit the validation API, when it get complete, it returns this, and then it give us unsuccessful message. Let me fix that thing also. Yeah, it should be user routes. Okay, user controller. We are sending we were sending the JSON data. Okay, so we have done this thing. So now if you have this in your application, and again somebody hit it and says, hey brother, I am getting 403 forbidden error. uh, what is my mistake? Or some person do not accept their mistake. So you can simply go to this and see, like, okay, your add API started, but it has validation unsuccessful. And then if you give a proper logging system, you can check this and say, hey, you are using add new user API, but you are sending this data, right? Only first name. What about the others? So you can talk to them and says, like, yeah, we are getting this 403 error because your validation has been completed, but it is returning this. So either there can be a mistake in the user data, or there can be a mistake in your function, right? So with this logger, you can identify it. At least it will give you some hint, like where those problems are happening, and then you can resolve those problems. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah. So let me see some more situations. Okay. Okay. So there might be a case like you are doing something and you have done some coding error. Okay. So every coder should write their code in try catch block, right? So what we will do, we will give a try catch. Okay, we have a try catch here. Uh, Let it be. So we have a try catch here. Okay. So I am not creating another try catch block. So if you do any mistakes in your codes, okay, like I have added this HHH, so it will throw an errors, right? So what I will do in our catch block, before sending, I will log it. Okay. Okay. And let me provide proper data. Okay. So now this is a case which where uh, user is providing you the correct data, right? Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me save this thing so that I can use it later also. Okay. See, it is giving a 500 internal server error, right? So there might be a case when you have provided an API and then it start to give some error. Okay, what will happen? I mean, API user will, I mean, the front end guy or the person who is hitting this using this API, or he will tell the front end guy, and the front end guy will tell, hey, I am sending all the data. See, these are the data which I am sending, right? So so now the error must be from your ends. Okay. So either you have to go and check your code. In order to check the code, there might be a condition like you might have missed this thing. You are considering this as a variables, but it is not there. Okay, and it's breaking your application, and you could not able to understand this thing. But since you have implemented the logger system, and since it's giving the error, so if you have proper log this thing, you can check this thing like add new user API started. Okay, and it is giving the error. What error? HHH is not defined. You can see this. I haven't messaged everything, but whatever thing I'm getting from the error, the catch error, I am writing those message, right? And then in info you can easily able to get that thing, like you can see this thing got error. So 38, these are the 38, 38, 38. So these are the steps happen, like add new API started, and these are the data he have provided. Data is fine. I can check and I can confirm, yeah, whatever data I was expecting, he is giving the correct data, right? Then again the second info, validation is started. So from validation I am getting this thing. So validation is also a correct one, right? It is sending me an status true and message success, so it's a correct one. Validation, we don't have any problem with validation. So I can see this, like it goes into success block, because in success I have message wrote this message, okay, validation successful, but it gave error, right? It and through this error I will check, I will start my checking, okay, in my code from these places, like till here everything is fine. So I will not check any code here, because in logger, through logger I am able to understand, yeah, this is the perfect thing. So the error must happen in between this. Okay, generally if it's in a catch block message, so the error should be in this place. Okay, so with this what happened, your findings would be I mean you have to find on particular place only, not on every place of your codes. Okay, so this was regarding the loggers. So this is how
Sir,
we.
sir, from error it is showing like it is in add user API. There is some error. HHS is not
Yes,
defined. But
Yes,
sir,
yes, yes.
we it may be like situation that we can using same API at different places. So how will I
That's why
we get to like
that's why I have given this PID, right? I mean, if
yes,
you see this info, we have different PID, process ID. We are generating the randoms number, right? So
no,
this
no,
this this process ID mean these four logs belong to the same process ID, right?
hmm,
Correct. And these were for the different process ID. So for this process where the user provided this data have some problems. So okay, he had raised some problems. So by seeing the error log, I can able to identify, yeah, there are some error because if there are any error, then only this file will have some data. If are no error, then this file will not have any errors, right? So by seeing this, I got this process ID. What I did, I go to the info log and checked what happened to this process, to this 738 process. I able to find out like there are some error with the catch blocks. Okay, catch mean what? Whatever thing you have done in a try block. So at that portion only, there could be some possible bug, right? So what I will do, I will go to my code. I have fixed this thing. Now it's got fixed, right? And when I hit this API again, instead of 50, it's give us the 200 error, so 200. So it's been successful. Okay, and
Process ID
now when
process ID will be generated newly, uniquely, again and again. Like
yeah,
add
yeah,
user.
yeah,
So
yes,
first
yes,
time I have hit the API and it is generated and process ID. Second time I have hit the same API and it will
hmm,
give me a different process ID.
yes. That's why I generate the unique identity, unique numbers. Okay, so it will generate a different process ID, or if you run in a server, then through server also you can get a different process for different process ID. Okay, or you can use this way also. I think this is the very simple way. Okay, you just create a random number. Okay, and you can create a function also. Like instead of this, I can go to my utils. Okay, go to my utils, and then here inside common, because it can be used from any other places. I will create a function like generate random PID. Okay,
No, why this actually this process ID? How this is beneficial for this actually? Again and again we are running the API and we are getting the new process ID.
okay. Anybody else can answer this? Anyone can answer this, please?
can you repeat?
Whenever when there is some request from UI, he will do multiple requests. For which request, process ID is nothing but we can say one request. So for which request it is, from UI he will give, we can send this process ID, and from UI they can send this is the process ID, so that we can set the related information only for that particular process ID from the backend, I think.
Yeah. See, whenever any hit any request come here, it will generate a new process ID, just like I think he told. So it will be random. It will be 99.99 case. It will be unique. Okay, unique number. Okay, it will return unique number. Okay. So since I am maintaining the process ID on every logs, this mean if any process start here, I with this number I can see how it goes. I mean, since we have added on different flows, so how it goes from one process or one uh, part to another parts. Okay, and if we have any error, you can see these logs. These IDs are getting changed, right? Now it's 295. Before it was 738, before it was 730, right? So for different, whenever I hit any API, we are getting this process ID, and with this ID, I can group this thing. So these three have same process ID, mean these three are for same API, which has been hit by same user. Okay, so if any user have any issue, we can get it through this IDs we can able to identify. Or if you want to do some more thing, we can provide more information like the user ID, any other things. Okay, the motto of this is, if we find any error, like in this case we have find one error that was a try catch block, and it was a coder mistake, right? It was a coder mistake, like a coder did not provided us, I mean had done some mistake, and he had typed hhh in her code, which is not a variables, which okay, he just type hhh in the code. There might be a mistake, you have given double semicolon, so in those case, if you write a try catch block, so catch will catch those error, okay, runtime error. And then through this log I can able to identify, and then I can able to fix my code. or or for now, for this case, when I am not giving any first name, okay, this is not a coder error, this is a uh, this is a user error or the front end error, where he is not passing the value. Okay, so I can see the logs. Okay, and now this is the 72 one, right? This again, you can see it, a unique one have been generated. So here I can see its status is false, right? Instead of true, it is false, and it shows the message also, since I have logged the message. And through these things I can tell them, hey, your first name is coming as blank. That's why whenever you are hitting this error, you are not getting the proper response. So in this way we can help ourselves, okay, to answer the question which will be raised by some other person, or whether it's a front end or guys, or the client, all right? And here you can see, for the last time, next time, when everything is successful, I wrote everything. Okay, and one thing you have to keep in mind, give proper messaging. If you don't give a proper message, then you will not able to identify properly. So let me push the code and take a 5-minute breaks, and then I will uh, uh, teach you how we can create a cron job, okay, so that we can clear these logs. See, whenever we are hitting, this file is becoming increasing day by day, okay, and if it's become very huge, so all of our server memory would be captured by this thing. So what we can do, every day we can delete clear these files, okay, every day we can clear this file, or every week we can clear this file. So I will tell you like how we can do this thing, right? So let's take a 5 minute break. At 12:15 we will join again.
Are we in a break?
हाँ, यस वी आर इन अ ब्रेक. तो किसी को ट्राई कैच फाइनली का पूरा कंसेप्ट पता है?
हाँ, ट्राई क्या होता है, तुम्हारा जो रनेबल कोड है वो उसमें होता है, ठीक है। कैच होता है जब तुम्हारा एक्सेप्शन जनरेट होता है, वो कैच में चला जाता है, और उसके बाद क्या होता है, थ्रो। फाइनली वो होता है जो मतलब कोड एग्जीक्यूट करेगा ही, ठीक है। अगर ट्राई वाला एग्जीक्यूट कर लिया, ठीक है, और ट्राई कैच अगर तुम्हारा क्या हुआ कि मतलब ट्राई के बाद अगर कैच में नहीं गया सपोज, ठीक है, ट्राई का मतलब कोड ठीक ठाक से एग्जीक्यूट हो गया, तो फाइनली तुम्हारा एग्जीक्यूट करेगा ही।
अच्छा, ठीक है.
कैच वाला तुम्हारा कैच वाला होता है कि अगर एक्सेप्शन होता है तो एग्जीक्यूट करेगा, अगर एक्सेप्शन नहीं होता है तो एग्जीक्यूट नहीं करेगा।
और फाइनली हमेशा करेगा.
फाइनली हमेशा करता है एग्जीक्यूट।
तो ऐसा कोई एग्जांपल है इसमें ऐसा होता है?
एग्जाम्पल देखो, अगर तुम एक नंबर के साथ 0 को डिवाइड कर रहे हो तो डिवाइडेड बाय 0 एक्सेप्शन आता है, ठीक है। अगर नंबर के साथ किसी भी नंबर को अगर तुम डिवाइड कर रहे हो, वो अगर सक्सेसफुल रहता है, ठीक है, तो ट्राई वाला एग्जीक्यूट हो गया। उसके बाद क्या हो गया, तो आपका कैच वाला एग्जीक्यूट नहीं करेगा अगर ट्राई वाला सक्सेसफुल हुआ। अगर उसके बाद क्या होगा कि आपका फाइनली एग्जीक्यूट कर लेगा कि यस द मैथमेटिकल कोड हैज बीन एग्जीक्यूटेड सक्सेसफुली, लाइक दैट।
ठीक है।
और कैच वाला एग्जीक्यूट करने से भी आपका वो फाइनली एग्जीक्यूट करता है।
ठीक है।